pressure system that's hovered over Chicago the last couple of days. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel, ready for football today, and ready for football are we as the Bears get set to match up with the Washington football team. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Off play action, Fields. Flush to his right. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And got his man complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 19. A big play there on the first play of the game.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure is good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll give it to Mixon, and he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. Looking again for Waller, and he's got him again. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They snap it to Fields. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And on the opening drive of the ball game, the defense comes up with a goal line stand. The first carry now for Tony Pollard. And he's got room. And they're going to get this all the way out past the 20. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front line. You're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. And his first carry, he loses the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. So a first-quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost them.
On 2nd and 11 now, Fields. He rifles one that's intercepted. picked up by Andre Cisco. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. But that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Here's Prescott. He hits his target, the tight end Adams. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
Yeah, they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. 39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. To throw is Fields. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they come in losers of 2 straight. And remember, they've got the open date on their calendar next weekend. But we think it's vitally important, Charles, that they focus on the task at hand here.
Absolutely, because these players, they know what's coming up. And the difference between taking time off following a win versus doing so on a 3-game losing streak, that's absolutely huge because they may come back if they lose this game to a facility, and there may be new faces in there and some teammates lost.
On 2nd down now, it's Richardson. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And he'll go out of bounds finally at the 7. 46 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this 1st quarter. No score after 1 on EA Sports. On 2nd down, it's Richardson. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Prescott. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board first here tonight. No, he missed the PAT. No good on the extra point, so a letdown there, and this will stay a 6-point ball game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is taken just shy of the 10. And able to get this out to the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
That's complete. It's Collins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Fields on 1st down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To the air again, Fields. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Well, sometimes despite the best planning, the defense actually has a plan as well, and they blanketed everyone on that play. They were able to close it down and spill him for a loss.
On play action, Fields. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Play action now. Prescott. That's going to be caught by Richardson. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, we're not able to find any yardage on that one.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Prescott to throw it. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. A handoff, running left, Mixon. And they'll get him down here at the 23.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. Play action. It's Fields. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage. That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Now a first down throw, Fields. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That catch good for only a couple. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. Only able to gain a couple there. And that'll bring up a third down. Fields. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there. And now fourth down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on fourth down. Throwing again is Fields. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Bears can grab the lead with the extra point. Wow, talk about a big fourth down conversion for the score defensively. How do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense and you give them credit for going for it and having that kind of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away, and incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Prescott. Flushed out right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown. Well, you don't want to coach him, Charles, to stay in the pocket on every play, but I guess that's the danger of getting outside of the pocket, extending a play, and making a bad throw. Turns into 6 points the other way.
Yeah, sometimes when you get outside the pocket, your vision actually gets obscured a little bit, or you narrow it down too much, and you don't see all the defenders in the area.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the lead is up to 8. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with just under a minute to go, they might try to think about mounting a drive here if they can and get in the end zone to potentially tie this game up. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, we just saw something you don't ordinarily see, and that's him trying to deep ball after throwing a pick six on his previous pass. Normally, they give him something safe to get his confidence back. Instead, they let him fire it downfield, albeit unsuccessfully.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Prescott now. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Fields. He finds his running back, Mixon. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
Another catch for him there in this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. On 2nd and a long way to go. Fields. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Ashton Davis. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they really won't have much time to work with, just 19 seconds showing on the clock. Following the interception, here's Prescott. Complete. Richardson has it. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Prescott on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. So now it appears they're going to accept the penalty, which means take away the interception. Also means keep your defense on the field. Don't understand this one bit. So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Final play of the half. Prescott. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Now Bush on the return. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play, because that's been an issue for them in this game. Off the play fake, Prescott steps away to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they've brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. From the 22, Fields. He gets it to Whalen, complete. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
So far this season, this is an offense that's proved its ability to move the football. I mean, they're in the top 5 in the NFL in picking up first downs, and they get the conversion here. And I think a lot of that is due to how they win on 1st and 2nd down, because that leaves them 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable. A lot easier to pick them up then, isn't it?
They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the 3rd quarter. Meanwhile, Fields' throw complete here to Waller. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, here's Fields. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll get inside of Washington's 15 before being taken down. A huge play there for Chicago.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short.
Touchdown, Bears! Darren Waller, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as the Bears push further out in front.
Partner, they had a good lead as they went in at the half, and they came out here in the second half and found a way to extend it. I love their consistency. Don't worry about what they said at halftime. This seemed like a team that was ready to play 60 minutes, and while this game is far from over, I love their approach.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Now Bush on the return. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere. And Prescott, his 3rd interception. Picked up on Malik Hooker. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Okay, partner. No surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going.
Mixon hit, and the ball is out. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Well, you had an offense working with a comfortable 2-score lead here in the 3rd quarter, and certainly doesn't feel as comfortable now following the turnover.
Yeah, you're right about that, because now the nerves start to come into play a little bit. You're a little bit jangled. You don't want to give your opponents any avenues to get back into the game. What you'd rather do? Put up signs that say, roads closed.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. Richardson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Here's Prescott. Oh, what a catch by Samuel. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big connection on that one. 31 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. On play action, Prescott. Buying time to his left. And he'll just get rid of it.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Glad you're with us from Soldier Field in Chicago. 3rd quarter here, 2nd and 10. Prescott yet again. And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki.
Touchdown, Washington.
Mike Gesicki, his first touchdown on the year.
And Washington able to close the gap just a bit.
And that score there makes this a much more manageable deficit.
Agreed, because before that touchdown, this looked like this was about over. Instead, they've got hope. They're back in the game. They feel better about themselves, and now they have a chance to make some more plays.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Here's Fields.
He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run.
Well, it doesn't matter where you put him, lined up in the backfield or split out like he was there. He can be a weapon when he gets that ball in his hands.
Yeah, this is what we mean when we talk about flipping the field, having your offense look at going a long way to a short way after he makes a play. His ability to do that, evident. Able to make the catch there, keep his momentum going, and just continue downfield.
And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Back to throw, Fields.
Escaping the pressure right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
After what they've faced during this game, where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that will give them a 12-point lead.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Here's Prescott.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And now another one thrown incomplete. I don't know, he had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Fields. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds, right around the 7. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. 2nd and 2. First down marker at the 5-yard line. This is Mixon on the draw. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bears are well on their way to a 5-0 start as they extend their lead. Santos with the extra point, and that will make this a 19-point game. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini-losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Prescott got his man complete over the middle. That's Richardson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
He finds his man complete. It's Clayton. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete.
Washington goes for it, but it does not pan out.
And the Bears will get the football back.
On first down, it's Fields. They're firing a deep ball for Kmet.
It's caught inside the 25. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big play that time through the air. 35 yards. On first down, Mixon. And they'll get him down right around the 16.
Tackle made that time by Aleem McNeil.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to you.
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Montez Sweat able to record his 5th sack of the season.
It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play. Just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that will bump the lead up to 26.
Washington 12.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Looking into the raindrops, and he muffs it.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
And they'll get him down here at the 23. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a run down because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Flush to his right. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 35. Well, I guess an interception at this point on 4th down is just as bad as an incomplete pass. Either way, the ball goes over to the other side.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in this late in the game, and there's not a whole lot he could do there, and he winds up giving the ball away.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 58 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times. Now Joe Mixon. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Michael Ojemudia. And that will write a finish to this ball game.